This video focuses on double-digit subtraction with borrowing. So the concept that we really continue to stress in double-digit addition or subtraction with regrouping / borrowing is that tens versus ones column. So if you have the number 35, this 5 is in your ones column. This 3 is in the tens column. Something we also really have to focus on with this is that the tens column, it's 3 groups of 10. So we use nuts and bolts to visually explain this. I'll do another video more on place value, but the student needs to be able to understand that this is 3 groups with 10 in each group. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gotta extend that a little bit. So then each of these have 10 in them as well, so that they understand that really this is saying 30. So that's why we're able to borrow from it. It's a really tough concept. But for the students that are really heavy on understanding the why, that's a really important concept for them to understand. If the student can do double-digit subtraction with borrowing, don't really understand why or how it happens, but they can do it because they've learned the process, that's great. But we also want to work on explaining that concept of, well, this is, you can borrow because there are 3 groups of 10. Not just 3 ones. You can't borrow from that. So it's a hard concept. I'll do another video on place value, but it's a tricky one. So we'll start with 42 minus 17. So again, you're not gonna have the touch points on the top. This first example I'm gonna do with max visuals. Sometimes you'll see this box up here. So when you borrow, you're writing in this box. I tend to notice that students do better with just writing it next to it. But you might see this, so I'll do it this way just so you know what it might look like. And then in the following problems, I'll do it without the box. Okay, so this is going to be your max, for the most part, max visuals. Sometimes you'll even see further of like, these are colored one color and these are colored another color. But typically if a student is at this level, they have those basic foundational skills to be able to solve these problems using just one single color and don't really need the additional visual prompts. So to start, I will let students try and count down just to see what they're gonna do. So they'll try and subtract 7 from 2 and they might say 1, 0, and then they're like, what? I don't know what to do now. So that's the first step. I need you to understand that you cannot take 7 away from 2. So a lot of times I'll start this off with, can you take 7 away from 2? And they need to understand, no, I can't. So what do you need to do? The answer is borrow. So they're gonna come over here and they're gonna borrow from the 4. They're gonna borrow 1 group of 10s. So there it is. Your 1 group of 10s is moving over here. So if you take 1 group of 10 away, what does it become? 3. So 1 less than 4. Sometimes it's even beneficial to write this little 4 minus 1 over here. And they understand how we're getting to this. We're taking 1 away. It's moving over here. Here, this is that 1. So here's the 4. That's where that's coming from. We're taking one group away. It's coming from right here. And then we're getting the 3. So now they can go ahead and subtract. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. 3, 2. Always continuing to draw attention towards the sign. So that is double-digit subtraction with borrowing. I'll do one more problem without all the extra visuals. One thing that I always forget when I'm doing these is sometimes I forget to leave enough space here for their 1 to go. So just making sure you're leaving enough space, but not too much space, because then when you get down here, you have like, it'll look like 2 separate numbers completely, rather than it being a double-digit number. So we'll leave these touch points on here. Again, working towards fading those out, but student benefits from them and needs them, and can successfully complete these problems, and I'd rather them be doing that. So can I take 5 away from 4? No. So what do I need to do? Borrow. Borrowing from the 8, borrowing 1 group of 10s. So this becomes a 7. So this is what I was saying. I typically will just write it over to the side rather than up top, but it doesn't matter, whatever they respond to best. So 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. 7, 6, 5, 4. So my answer is 49. So that is it on double-digit subtraction.